Hey there, folks. How we doing? Long time no see. I don't even know what day today is. Um, Tuesday, September 8th, 8:59. I guess it's about to be 9 o'clock. Uh, 9 is elder, 5 is movement, and 8 is knowledge. Meaning elder moving towards knowledge with knowledge. Uh, there's some stuff about Flight 370, the Malaysian airliner flight, the one that one of the first ones, or the first one that got lost, uh, to our radar and everything else. I've talked about it a couple of times. After this short video, I'm going to put my other two talks back to back and just make it one big full account of it. I'm close to leaving now. I'm just a few weeks away from getting out of this body. The best I can see right now is I just take myself out and go. Guy's been working on my head so hard I can't hardly see it. Keeps getting bigger. Emily actually took pictures of it, watching it grow. It's pretty weird stuff. Anyway, so I'm not going to be around much longer. I wanted to get something out about the incident. First off, there were some people on the flight that were rather special people. I mean, no one's any better than anyone else, but some of us have very specialized work to do, and some of the folks on this flight were not really from here. Their DNA had a lot of earth in it, okay, but they're not really from this planet. There's a lot of them that came here on ships that have been living with us for a long time. Okay, let's just say over 100,000 years. Let's just leave it there. So they've been around a long time. You get that part of the idea. They've been living and dying with us. A long time ago, when Israel took on the whole Arab nation, they won because they had some good weapons and some very articulate instrumentation on very fast fighters, but they had intel. I wonder where they got it. That had to be done to maintain balance. There's been a war on this planet for a long time. This is still about the Malaysian airliner Flight 370, okay? There's been a war here for a long time. There's been a law in space forever, okay? A war. I'm sorry. Like I said, right now I'm getting hammered. I'm having issues. Guy's been working on my head doing something different, and it takes my conscious thought totally out. She's trying to repair something that was damage that was done to me years ago by the original male while I was sleeping, before I was, too strong. Anyway, these people I'm talking about that have been with us, they've been doing everything they can to help us without trying to upset things too much. There's a whole lot of people from other planets. There's a whole lot of beings from other planets that are prisoners here in the FEMA camps and stuff like that, way under the ground, way down under the ground. But there's a lot of them that are here just running around with us, living with us, helping us. Others, there's also a resistance fighting force here. They're not from this planet. They can breathe here, but they're not from here. If you look at them, you'll know. Okay, they stay hidden. On this Flight 370, there were some special people on there that had come up with some ways to do some things how do I put this? They had ways to create energy fields and actually had some intense medical benefits, as well as some other gifts that they wanted to give us. And there were some Anunnaki gentlemen from their quote-unquote royal house, woo, you know, whatever, and they were waiting at the airport for the plane to land. And accidentally, in trying to, another ship, in trying to help out this airliner and protect it, they wound up actually hurting it. And their energy actually messed up the controls a little bit. So that wound up taking it down, going down. And that's why it, after a while, there were literally Anunnaki in the water tearing the ship apart trying to find what was down there. But they didn't find it because it was already beamed off. So anyway, with that having been said, we'll get to the other two videos just to hook this all together. Plus, you won't hear much about this, if anything, because they hit it right away. But the Chinese Coast Guard, or whatever they call themselves, one of the guys, they went down there, they had put some equipment down there, and they looked at the ship, and there's like only a few bodies in it. It was like 3-4 bodies in it. I think there were a total of 7 bodies that were somehow left on the ship. And all the rest of them are gone. And so was all the other stuff, beamed out, taken away, protected. Now the other people that were on Flight 370, a lot of them are going to stay on the Starship. Okay, they've integrated. They're always more than welcome. Our friends in space, when you meet them, it's going to be incredible. Probably 2018. It slides a little bit back and forth. Sometimes it gets close to 2017. Sometimes it gets right up there in 2019. But it's pretty much staying in 2018. Maybe the second half of latter second half of 2018. And they actually show themselves. They just all of a sudden around your major cities, just poof, there'll be about 100 craft, poof, 200 craft, 300 craft, 200 craft. Around your big cities, all of a sudden, boom, 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 all at one time, all over the world is going to be a whole lot of ships. And they're going to say hi. They're going to come in, beam in, say we're here. They've been waiting for a lot of things to happen. Some of them never did. And some of them were good, but some of them were really bad. So it's a good thing it didn't happen, or they didn't happen. It was multiple events. Anyway, some of those folks will wind up coming home when they show themselves and come out. That'll be 2018. Okay, they'll come home. They're being taken care of. It's a sad situation. They regret it. I feel sad about it. It just happened. So anyway, try to keep that in mind, that there was all kinds of stuff going on involved in this. The Anunnaki trying to keep some medical information, cures for some diseases, for how the diseases, knowledge of how the diseases were actually spread through, new nanites that actually will fight and kill the nanites that they're using here on the planet, that the Anunnaki use here. The government, our U.S. government has their own nanites. Russia's got a problem, but I mean a new their own system, but they have some problems, a lot of problems. Anyway, there's just a lot more going on, and it's going to get fixed, and there's going to be a whole lot of people from that flight coming back later. But a lot of the folks that were single and not entangled, having lives they couldn't leave, they're happy. They're very happy. They're kind of like honorary members of the crew. So try not to worry about that if you can, and if you have loved ones on there, I'm sorry. things will come out. I'm sorry, it's gonna be. They have to come out and show themselves first, and that's supposed to be about 2018, and it will happen. It's time. Animals are leaving. This is gonna, and then you have these idiots like Monsanto's or whatever that schmuck organization is. They're over here trying to control the plant population, your vegetative food, and the animals are leaving. Period. It's going to happen. I'm taking them. It's already happening. So our friends in space have the fix for this. They have the cure, and they're going to bring it. So then you'll find out that all these little aliens, as everybody wants to call them, that they're friends, or they're a family, and they've been waiting to help us, but the things that have been running this planet wouldn't let them, and they've actually taken prisoners. They just invite them in to do work. They go to they have their salesmen go out to other planets and say, hey man, we want you to come work for us. We're going to pay you all this, pay you that. They give them a chunk of money, whatever. Next thing you know, they come over here to the planet and poof, they're locked in. And they're prisoners. They've been dying and being born in captivity also. Okay? So there's all kinds of stuff going on. And this all has to do with the war that's been going on out in space. Remember, Earth is young. So, all that being said, here's the other information again that I left you. But at least you have a more roundabout view of what's going on right now, and you can relate it to other stuff as I say it. And I hope that helps. And again, for those families that have folks missing, I'm sorry. It's going to turn out pretty good. There were very few casualties. Okay? Alright folks, love you. Hope you have a good night. Take care. Hey there folks, how you doing? Jay Essex again. It's Tuesday, April 8th, 9:52 p.m. According to my phone. Today I was talking with a new friend, Will, from New York. He drove down to do an interview and to get cranked up, and we had a wonderful time. Outstanding young man, and he's got a very good future. While we were in the middle of our time together today, I had to stop. I was getting something in about a ship, government ship, I guess Coast Guard or something, in China, and it happened to be about that Malaysian incident with that plane. I've had a lot of you ask me about it, and I'm just being pushed hard by my energy to go ahead and say something about it. Right after it happened, I took a look at it. I saw the plane flying over water, and I kind of let it go, and then later on when I got asked about it, I took a good look and saw some interesting things. So I'm just going to share them with you now. I saw the plane flying over water. I saw some type of energy field hitting the ship. It's somewhat electromagnetic in pulse, but it's not so much a pulse. It's an actual field that's actually of energy that was actually like attached to the ship. And then the next thing I knew, I saw I saw the ship slowly starting to slowly go down and get a little closer towards the water. I saw people nervous at first, and then more energy comes in, they calm down, and then I see the plane getting closer to the water. I don't know, it was, I guess, a few thousand feet or something, but it was getting closer. And it was on a slow descent. And then all of a sudden my attention was drawn to a starship. It's a group of beings. They're actually part of this federation that's been protecting us for 1.1+ million years. their medical and science, research, historical, it's mostly like a type of research and help vehicle. A good-sized ship, and it was in the atmosphere, and barely. And the next thing I knew, I flashed back at the plane, and it started getting lower. Then everything just let loose, and then I looked at it again, and then next thing I know, I saw the plane getting ready to crash, and there's no one in it. There might have been 3, 4, or 5 people or something in it. Everyone else was gone. The seats were empty. And then when it went down, excuse me, excuse me. Then when it went down, as it came down, the nose leaned to the right a little bit. It went in, hit the water. The left wing broke up and out of the way, and it kind of, I guess, rolled over and then started sinking. There might have been no one left on it. There might have been 3 or 4 or 5 people or something. I don't know. Maybe even 7 people. I don't know. But I remember seeing the major aisles of the plane empty. And then I saw back on the ship, I went back and looked at it earlier today when Will brought it up during that. We had like about a 5-6 hour interview and crank up. It was a lot of fun. But anyway, I went back and looked at it, and I saw, where the people had been transported onto the starship. I already knew that it was an accident that happened because of the energy from the starship. It wasn't meant to happen. It was an accident, and that the people, almost all the people were in fine shape, and they couldn't send them home. I don't know where it went from there. I know some of the people really got excited and kind of freaked out a little bit, but I know almost everyone is fine and okay. They just can't come home. I don't know how this is going to be handled. I have no idea. That's not mine to really be overly concerned about. And then later, during the interview with Will today, I just saw one of the gentlemen on the Chinese ship. It was a government ship. Maybe it's a big Coast Guard something. I don't know. Not worried about that. But they found something, and they reported. The guy was reporting it to, I guess, superior officer. But part of what they found is what they didn't find. So I don't know if they sent some type of robot down and they found the ship and found no one in it. I don't know, but whatever he was reporting to his commanding officer, someone off the ship somehow. And it was a very hush-hush situation. The gentleman's brain was puzzled. And then I flashed back to someone that was on the other ship that was being held. Probably waiting till they calmed down is all I could see. I saw most of the people released walking around the ship. So I don't know how it's going to turn out, who's going to say what they're going to see. Governments can fabricate all kinds of stuff. But anyway, it was an accident, and it was our friends that didn't mean to, and it caused a situation which they're trying to find a way to take care of it. Let's not forget our friends in space do a lot to help us out. 311, the incident in Japan with the reactor from the tsunami. There was a reported over 2,000 Within a week or two, there was over 2,000 UFO reports, UFO sightings. That's real. They were here trying to help us. So anyway, let's try to keep that in mind as things move along. But it was just time for me to get that out. So hope you all have a good night. And I'm sorry for the people who have loved ones on the ship. All I can do is ask you to go inside your heart and feel what you feel. Reach out with your heart. It's the strongest thing we got. And see what you can pick up. Something will happen somehow, some way. I'm not sure how. That's a bad situation. They can't just release the people because they don't want to be known yet. They're trying to still, excuse me, they're still trying to stay underground. It's not time for them to come out, to give themselves up yet, to come out in the open, whatever you want to say. Anyway, I thought it was important for everyone to know that, if nothing else for the people that have family on the ships. So I have no idea if they wind up going home, if they make clones and beam them down onto the plane. I don't know. But I know they have to cover it up, whatever they do. But I have a feeling that the Chinese today saw the ship and they saw it empty and they didn't want to report it. Anyway, I love you all. Take care. Have a good night. Hey folks, how you doing? Jay Essex again. You can reach me at 770-885-5619 or jayessex.com, JAYESSEX.com, or spiritualsymposiums.com, just in case you need to reach me. This is just an update on the Malaysian airliner that had crashed into the sea. There's something I didn't mention earlier. Some of the people had mentioned to me that there was some information that would be valuable to things that run this planet on that aircraft. And they thought that maybe they had something to do with taking it down. And that immediately, I saw what was going on there immediately, and then that flashed to something I don't think I mentioned originally, is that I had seen when the aircraft was at the bottom of the ocean, I saw reptilians, actual reptilian bodies, down there pulling apart some of the wreckage, looking for something. I had no idea what it was. And they were waiting, the reptilians were waiting at the airport to receive the plane and receive the information that was on there, or take it, whatever, one way or the other. They were there to get the information. And then when the plane didn't make it, then they were down there tearing apart part of the plane, under what was left of it, under the water, trying to find it. I knew that the Anunnaki didn't cause it. I know they were down there late, and if they were going to cause it, they would have been there on time, but they got there late trying to find something. So that's what that was about. Also, for those of you that have family out there that were on the flight, I'm sorry. The last 2 days I've been through something really hard personally. More of my energy is coming out of my body, and my brain was growing. And literally, the last 48 hours have been rough. The last 24 hours, I was pretty well knocked out. I managed to get up twice to feed my animals, and that's it. So today I'm kind of coming back into it. So I really can't see too good right now, so I can't help you with that. I'm sorry. I will be looking at that as soon as I can finish putting my site together. Anytime I go through this kind of change where your brain physically grows, your thought process changes, and it just takes a while, that's all. It's been going on for 6 years now. I'm kind of used to it, but this was a big one. Anyway, hang in there, folks, okay?
There's a lot of live people on that ship. That I can tell you, most of them are amazed at what's going on. Some of them miss family. That I can feel with my heart right now. But that's all I can tell you right now. That's all I can say. Love you all. Have a good one.